Is up back here with another YouTube video, and in case you cannot tell by the title below, this video will be a video where I share my honest thoughts on the AEW Dynamite / Collision debut that has happened in Montreal, Quebec, place that is give or take 6.5 hours away from where I grew up, so not too terribly far in the grand scheme of things, but not too terribly close either. Not like a Toronto or a Niagara Falls kind of deal, but I won't spoil anything for people who have not watched Dynamite live and would not want to be spoiled for Collision. You can throw in ROH, and Rampage is being recorded as I speak, so I don't have any spoilers for that. But when it comes to like the Montreal crowd, whether it was back in February for SmackDown Elimination Chamber kind of deal, or I think it might have been August Quebec City had it, which is strangely the capital of Quebec, not Montreal. But either way, the Quebec crowds nonetheless are always, just based off my memory, really, really good. And this one was, for Dynamite at least, it was like usual, like good crowd, vocal, and whatnot. But for myself personally, do I wish I would have went to either Dynamite or Collision? Part of me says yes, but not necessarily for either one. It would have been cool to see wrestling outside of the province for the first time. Don't get me wrong, it would have been cool to see AEW in person for the first time, don't get me wrong, and just seeing like the results would have been, or moments kind of deal, would have been cool to witness it in person. But like, if I hypothetically went to Montreal, made that roughly 6.5 hour drive one way, it would have not been for AEW either last night or tonight. It would have been, granted, it's on the other side of the Ontario-Quebec border, but Mystery Wrestling tomorrow, I've been, or today depending on when you watch this, I'm way more excited for anything AEW. And don't get me wrong, like, if you were there, made that drive, whether it's a 10-minute drive to the venue, or hours upon hours of being in a vehicle or go train, go bus, whatever the case might be, it was probably worth it. For myself personally, probably wouldn't be, in the sense of that's over half a day in a vehicle for probably like 6-7 hours of wrestling to watch in person over a couple of days, if that kind of deal, if you're strictly looking at AEW plus hotels and all of that stuff. But yeah, when it comes to I don't think they announced when they're going to be in Montreal next, or at least I don't remember them saying anything or announcing anything kind of deal. I'm not saying they didn't, it's just I didn't hear anything. But for myself personally, it's one of those things where, like, it would be cool if they got another Dynamite or Collision, this time live, kind of deal for Montreal, or a TV special, or a pay-per-view. But it's one of those things where it's like, now we got like the Torontos, we got the Edmontons, Calgarys, Montreals, Winnipegs with a TV. Give one to Vancouver, kind of deal. Like, that's the last, I would say, major city that hasn't got anything to do with AEW. And again, they might have announced it, but I did not see anything. Vancouver or even Victoria, kind of deal, and whatnot. But yeah, overall, it was a good Dynamite. Rampage, like I mentioned, I'm pretty sure is being taped right now. Collision and ROH was taped last night, kind of deal. Collision would air live on, or live to air, I should say, on Saturday, and I think ROH isn't until next week. But yeah, really looking forward to see what actually happens on those shows, and not just read the spoilers. But overall, I thought it was a good enough show. Will it go down as one of the all-time greats for Dynamite? No, in their roughly 4 and a bit year history, without a doubt, no. For myself personally, at least, is it one of the worst? Again, no. The crowd was definitely holds a special spot in my cold Canadian wrestling heart. But yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Dynamite and Collision. Again, didn't spoil anything for it, at least I don't think. But yeah, check it out if you have not done so already. But yeah, that is it for this one. Hit the like, subscribe, turn on post notification. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it would mean a lot to myself if you did. More importantly, hope you guys are doing okay, mentally, emotionally, and physically.
The world that we tend to make up is nothing but a fantasy until you wake up. I feel like I'm just lying to myself, yeah. Cause I just crossed the line like I'm playing offside. I do it how I want and I'ma do it till I die. Feel like I'm just lying to myself, but it's